Spark2Life is a new educational initiative coming straight out of the heart of the urban youth culture. Spark2Life is the acronym for sharing positive and relevant keys to life. This is an inspiring and challenging program that is directly linked into the curriculum in the areas of citizenship, PSHE, RE, and Black People's Attainment Program. Spark2Life is pioneered by Des Brown, a youth worker in East London. Here's his story.
Okay, yeah, this is where I was at the age of 17. It was 1990, and the police station over there is a police station that I used to sign on at twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And it's probably after about a month, 2 months of doing that, then they cut it down to once a day, and then finally 3 times a week. But yeah, this is the police station, Tilbury Police Station, and this is where I used to sign on. In 1990, my parents also had to move here. It wasn't where we originally lived, but because of my offence and the hostility in the community that we previously lived in, my parents had to sell their house and move here and buy this house. And at first, I didn't want to be here, but the bottom line is neither did my family. And the only reason we were here was because of my incident, i.e. taking someone's life.
How old were you when Des was first arrested?
I was 16.
I must have been about 8-9 years old, I think.
And what did your family say when they found out?
My mum was really upset, and she, burst into tears. And my older brother, who didn't really know Des, was very angry and quite annoyed.
Do you remember how you felt then?
At the time, I wasn't really sure what was happening. I was a bit confused, to be honest.
What did your friends say when they found out?
Because we went to the same college and people knew Des, some of them were really shocked and they couldn't believe it. And there were some of them that would say, he's going to be in there for a very long time.
How did you feel when Des was arrested for murder?
I think the words I would use would be shocked and possibly traumatised, really.
Did you become aware that your brother was in prison?
I remember him getting taken off by the police that day.
How did you feel at that time in your life?
Felt as though I felt empty because of what had happened, and I keep trying to run it over and over in my mind as to how I reached this stage. How could this have happened?
How did you feel visiting him in prison?
I felt, part of me felt happy that I could actually see him. Another part of me felt quite challenged because he was actually in prison.
Are you aware of the increase in knife crime today, and do you have any views on it?
Yeah, you hear about things going on all the time. It's it's scary, people getting stabbed all the time. What could just be solved over a matter of talking or a fist fight. I just think it's crazy that people are ready to take other people's lives over something as silly as what it is sometimes.
How did this affect your emotions and your views on life?
It didn't really affect my views on life, but it affected my emotions in the sense of that I became a bit withdrawn.
I felt as if I was on a merry-go-round that I couldn't get off of. It was almost like something inside of me was screaming out, stop, I need to get off, but I couldn't.
You've just seen a snapshot of my life. From the age of 17, I was involved in a serious incident.
Those working with some of the most damaged and dangerous youngsters in London believe much more help is needed from schools and social services. This report from our Home Affairs correspondent, Guy Smith.
The Reverend Des Brown from Walthamstow knows all about the devastating consequences of knife crime. As a teenager, he was involved in drug dealing and street robberies. But one day in a busy London park, he stabbed a stranger.
You killed someone. Do you regret that?
I do, deeply. I realise that when you've taken somebody's life, you can't bring it back again. And I'm sure the family of the deceased are still living with that pain.
After a jail sentence, he managed to turn his life around.
But really, I want to talk a little bit about my present, what I'm doing now. I'm a youth pastor, full-time. I work with 13 to 19-year-olds. I'm married to a lovely wife called Sheila. I've got 4 lovely children, Jordan, Chanel, Christina and Joash. And I believe that family is important. It's important because it's the bedrock of society. And for me, what I want to be able to do is impact a younger generation to see the values of society and what makes it important to be able to live right and hopefully to be able to grow up into a young man or a young woman to take on responsibility. But really, this is about a schools program that we're running called Spark2Life. And Spark2Life is about sharing positive and relevant keys to life. And the idea of this promo is to share that because my life changed and how my life changed, I believe there's keys that I can share with young people to hopefully keep them focused so that they can fulfill their potential. Spark2Life's educational program will provide quality and excellent thought-provoking talks and assemblies which deal with themes and issues that can be developed further through follow-up lessons and or additional assemblies. Spark2Life's program has been successfully piloted across the schools in the borough of Wandsworth in partnership with the Wandsworth Police. We want to work in partnership with schools and statutory bodies to address issues of rising youth crime, antisocial behaviour and disengagement from mainstream education. We have outlined our services and lessons that we trust will be of benefit to you and your school.
I've learned 3 things from this lesson. Don't do drugs, I can succeed, and I should think positively. This session has made me think how I act and who I hang around with.
This changed my life and made me think about my choices, and everything you do has consequences. This gives me an idea of what I could be in the future.
You made me think about my life and the decisions I should make.
Being part of this program has made me think twice about carrying a knife.
And so I just want to say I hope this has encouraged and inspired you to think about how we can reach the younger generation. Thank you.